First at 4, Governor Whitmer lists 4 factors that will determine how we reopen the state, and she responds to a presidential tweet. Paula.
A local bride who was supposed to get married this weekend is turning in one gown for another as she works to save the life of her fiance and his co-workers.
All right, Paula, and I think most of us are ready for the snow to go away. Well, we're going to take a look at what the forecast says for the weekend. It is all First at 4.
Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
Good afternoon. I'm Karen Drew. Breaking right now, First at 4. We just got new information from Governor Whitmer, and we're also seeing the new numbers on coronavirus infections. Today, the state tells us there are more than 30,000 cases across the state. The number of deaths has climbed again. 134 additional families are mourning lost loved ones today. So overall, we have lost more than 2,200 people to the virus. An encouraging sign, though. Right now, we are using a fraction of the 1,000 beds at the TCF Center in Detroit, with 21 patients being treated there. Also today, a lot of people are talking about a tweet from President Trump saying, quote, "Liberate Michigan." It was one in a series addressing states with strict lockdowns. Kimberly and Gill in the newsroom following that, and the governor did address that tweet, Kim.
She did. Karen, good afternoon to you. The very first question, actually, the governor was asked dealt with that tweet from President Trump. The governor is standing by her decisions, though, and believes her actions are saving lives. Here's more of what she had to say.
You know, the most important thing that anyone with a platform can do is to try to use that platform to tell people we're going to get through this, and we will re-engage our economy when it's safe. There's no one, I think, is more eager to start re-engaging sectors of our economy than I am. But the last thing I want to do is to have a second wave here, and so we've got to be really smart.
The governor kicked things off looking at 4 factors that she says will be critical to reopening Michigan's economy. First, getting sustained control over the rate of infection. Second, enhanced ability to test and trace contacts. And third, making sure the health system can handle any future surges. Also, maintaining the best practices of social distancing. Whitmer says those factors dictate when it's safe to reopen, and it will happen deliberately.
It is too early to lay out precisely what that will look like, but we are doing the hard work now so that when it is safe to re-engage, we're able to do so in a strategic way. Any return to work will be phased in carefully so that we can track the impact of lifting social distancing measures and what that means for the spread of COVID-19.
The governor says the recovery will happen in waves. She expects to bring a more detailed plan out toward the end of next week or the week after that. We're still sorting everything out that the governor said today in a press conference. We'll have more coming up on the news tonight at 5. Until then, Karen, we'll send it back to you.
Always appreciate it. Thank you, Kim. Other states are slightly ahead of Michigan. Boeing is preparing to put employees back to work building jets in the state of Washington. 27,000 employees should head back to work next week. The company says it will have a safe work environment, including masks, hand washing stations, and regular wellness checks. Right now, Boeing still isn't building that 737 MAX, but it is working on other models. Also on the West Coast, the city of Santa Cruz is reopening their beaches and trails and parks after a 1-week shutdown. Still, city officials say they will be watching for what they call non-essential activities. Skate parks and basketball courts remain closed to prevent the spread of the virus. We know each day brings new questions about this pandemic. Our Dr. Frank McGeorge continues to work diligently to get the answers that you need. Today, he's focusing on one very common question and a situation that's causing some viewers concern.
I've discussed the concern that infected people are able to spread the virus days before they develop symptoms, but there's also concern about many people spreading the virus who either never develop symptoms, so-called asymptomatic spread, or who only have minimal symptoms that go unrecognized. Viewers are now asking, first, if asymptomatic people would test positive, and second, do asymptomatic people just keep spreading it like Typhoid Mary, or do they stop at some point? The first answer is yes. If for some reason an asymptomatic person was tested and they were shedding virus, they would test positive. But my answer to the second question is really much more complicated. The short answer is yes, they will stop spreading virus at some point. But these questions really highlight a real issue. This area hasn't been studied well enough yet because we haven't done comprehensive surveillance of asymptomatic individuals. And we have yet to identify a reliable antibody test that can tell us if a person has recovered and is immune. For better answers, you've just got to stay tuned. Now, another question that several people are asking is whether it's possible to be infected with another virus while you have COVID-19. And the answer is yes. In fact, a study that was just published in JAMA specifically found 20% of people that are positive for SARS-CoV-2 were also positive for another virus. Now, the most common other virus types were rhinovirus, enterovirus, RSV, and non-SARS-CoV-2 coronaviruses. All of those are frequent sources of the common cold. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Doc. And don't forget, the doctor's questions and answers are always posted at clickondetroit.com. You can watch them again and share them as well. First at 4, we're also tracking coronavirus stories making headlines this Friday all around the world. And let's start in China, where the government has revised the COVID-19 death toll in Wuhan. Now, you'll remember, that is the city where the virus first broke out. The new number is 4,600, up from 3,300. China's Health Commission says the city was overwhelmed by the virus and failed to count many victims. Wuhan accounted for about 2/3 of China's coronavirus infections. The president of the Philippines is threatening to use martial law to prevent the spread of the virus. While the death count from the virus in the Philippines is low, there have been thousands of reports of Filipinos violating curfews and social distancing orders. President Duterte has been severely criticized by human rights activists for violent crackdowns on drug trafficking, and he may be ready to use similar methods against lockdown violators. Meantime, in the nation of Georgia, the emphasis is on health and prevention. Crews in the capital have been spraying disinfectant and scrubbing streets during the national lockdown. Georgia is also putting curfews in place and strict limits on car travel. Those restrictions, along with the closing of churches, will severely limit celebrations of Orthodox Easter this Sunday. As you can imagine, because of COVID-19, numerous weddings have been canceled. This weekend is no different for Sterling Heights bride-to-be, who has decided if she can't wear her wedding gown this weekend, she'll put on a medical gown. Paula Tutman shows us this ultimate act of love.
Well, of course, Pam is upset and very disappointed, but she's channeling all of her energy right now into saving the life of her fiance and his co-workers.
Okay, so I have a roll of plastic tablecloth.
While this might look like a run-of-the-mill do-it-yourself tutorial video,
Roll it out. Oh, first of all, you want to cover your table in some towels or something for the iron.
it is instead the look of true love.
There we go. So I'm going to measure 4 feet.
So many little girls dream of twirling in their wedding gowns.
My dress was quite a journey to find.
But Pam Klesko of Sterling Heights
Bring it around to the front.
is twirling in this kind of gown.
And there you go.
The trade-off, a no-brainer when her weekend wedding had to be canceled because of COVID-19.
At first it was, okay, you can have up to 50 people, and then it was, you can have 10 people, and then it just wasn't a good idea to have it at all.
But then disappointment turned to fear when her husband-to-be, Antonin, a nurse at a local hospital, contracted COVID-19. That's when she got a crash course in sickness and in health.
Yeah, that came a little early. Yeah, for better or worse, in sickness and health, for sure.
Antonin is fully recovered and back at work. But when he returned, he realized that nurses just struggled to get the personal protective equipment essentials they needed. And so Pam, who normally would be teaching first grade at a Catholic school,
Good job.
instead taught herself how to make personal protection gowns for her fiancé and his co-workers out of all things, plastic tablecloths. Because it's medical PPE, don't they have to be sterile? Are there specific specs or not really?
At this point in time, they're so desperate for things that the rules and regulations are a little bit more flexible during this time, because when it comes to having no gown at all or having one of these, they'd rather have something. I was getting feedback actually from some of the people my fiance works with. They're saying that they actually feel more protected in these because they are plastic. They can wipe them down and sanitize them and use them again.
And to her fiancé, They are a work of art.
Thanks, Pam, for everything you're doing. It's been really helpful having more isolation gowns, and really appreciate it. I love you. I can't wait to actually get married.
So many little girls dream of wearing a gown, but sometimes life happens, the dress changes, and it's still the most important day of your life. Paula Tutman, Local 4.
Pam and Antonin hope they'll be able to get married in a traditional ceremony in August. From our downtown station to over in Southfield, we have all seen those snowflakes fall in much of the afternoon. Some parts of the viewing area might be seeing a little more snow, but it should be ending soon. Paul Gross is in for Ben this afternoon. So, Paul, what's the latest?
Well, I'll tell you what, the latest is on some accumulating snowfall reports that we've seen. It's been pretty significant. Take a look. Sue Drob in Manchester reported an average of 4.7 inches on her deck. Josh Lasney, the official weather observer at Metro Airport, measured almost 3 inches there. Garden City, 2.2. Pinckney, 1.3. Steve Sobel just checked in from Farmington with 0.7 inches, but some of it is melting, so that may not be a realistic total, but not sticking to the roads. And there you see the back edge already moving toward the Jackson area. So this stuff will be ending in the next couple hours or so. And through the evening, after we get past that 6, 7 o'clock hour, just dry with near steady temperatures in the low to mid 30s. Hey, we've got a weekend just around the corner. We'll be back to talk about that in great detail in just a little bit, Karen.
All right, and speaking of the weekend, sometimes it just doesn't feel like the weekend anymore these days. So still ahead, 2 viral events that could bring more fun to your Friday and Saturday night. Sounds good, right? Up first, if you're doing more teleconferencing, you definitely want to hear about some digital bounty hunters and a Facebook crackdown. If you like or share the wrong thing, you might get a warning from the social media site. We're going to talk about new alerts coming up next.
Homeschool's not just for kids.
You got a unique skill? Teach us how to do it.
Go to the Morning Show page at Click on Detroit, and your video could end up on Local 4 News Today.